How do you know when you've outgrown a friendship?
First and foremost, I think it's not disrespectful to outgrow a friendship. I
Okay,
think there's
that's-
like that energy of like, do you think you're better or that you've moved on up or whatever, you know what I mean? Even if
Yeah.
it's like in clarity and awakening. No, it's just like you could expand past certain things, right? I think for me it's like just knowing the things that matter to me don't matter in the shared space anymore. And again, it's not like the person is being nasty or anything. They probably have evolved past it, you know? Or the world views, because they change, right, as we evolve.
true.
And maybe yours has changed into something that I'm like, eh?
Hapa.
That could be good for you, but like I don't actually agree with this, so I see it as limiting or whatever. And then there's the feeling, like, you know, there are times you hang out with your friends and you feel so rejuvenated and you're
Yeah.
just like, that was wonderful, whatever. And sometimes it's just like, it's not there anymore. It starts going. And it feels like you're hanging out with someone because it's a duty.
Yeah.
Then you have to be like,
Yeah, do we need to?
It happens like, especially let's say friends you had in uni, and then you go into the workplace and like you're in different spaces and you're evolving into different people. You're finding out you like different things, and then it's just like we're really forcing to hang out.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know. I don't think it should be that hard.
It shouldn't be that hard. Do you think it needs to be a conversation? I mean, that's a tough one. Like, so...
You're asking a professional ghoster if it needs to be a
If it needs to
conversation.
come up.
I'm just like, Brazil, and that fizzle out.
Everybody will moonwalk into
Fizzle
their own
out.
direction.
I don't know if I've had a friendship where I don't know if it was a breakup or outgrowing, but the end came, right? And I did the terrible thing of ghosting, but honestly, at the time, I had so much on my plate.
So self-preservation,
I
you're
just
just like-
couldn't. I didn't have the energy. And I remember the last conversation where in my head, I was like, oh, this friendship is over. But I was on my way to a shoot.
Okay.
So, I mean, I had to work.
Yeah.
And I had other things I was handling. And so I didn't have the conversation. And then maybe like a year or two later, they reached out or I reached out. I can't remember, but we spoke because then I became aware that they had a different understanding. Because like when you ghost, you leave things up in the air.
Yeah, that's true.
So someone's perspective or perception of the breakup can go anyhow. And so then I was like, oh, okay. And I had done enough therapy to go back and be like, hey, actually, I left because of na 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 na. And I kind of was very intentional with my wording because I didn't want it to come out as hope of like, let's reconcile. Because now it's very clear that actually this is not the type of friendship I wanted. So then I was able to share. And it was a really nice conversation. Like no rah-rah or anything. It was very calm. And yeah, I kind of felt good that I didn't just continue my ghosting.
You're ghosting
to
and-
infinity. Yeah,
And leave them wondering what happened.
yeah. Because I also wanted you to understand where I'm coming from. Because then maybe there's less resentment.
Yeah.
And after a year or two, the emotions have gone down.
That's
so
what
it's
I-
not.
That's the thing. I have this
Yeah.
rule where I tell myself, give it a year.
Yeah.
So when something has happened to me, even in that moment, I usually
Yeah.
say to myself, give it a year. And then I work backwards. So then I have a lot of time and grace to heal.
I wasn't that good. I was on the ghosting for
Yeah.
like I'm not having a conversation
Yeah.
about this, but you know, life just forced me to kind of like go back and rectify
Yeah.
or like explain myself.
Exactly.
But before that, like I haven't been really good at taking a beat. Like I want to fix things now. Like everything becomes, I go into project manager role. Oh, this is the issue. Oh, okay, so we need to And sometimes things just need like a
They just need some time.
yeah. It's not a crisis. Like even after for me, even like if you give it 2 weeks, even a month, I'm like, oh, actually, it's not a crisis. Like I
Yeah.
see it. But in the moment, I'm just like, call everyone.
Mobilize them.
Sort this out now.
But it takes a while to get it because I'm the same. And now I tell people, the other day I told a family member because they were like, there's this thing. And I was just like, it doesn't have to be urgent.
Yeah.
So the next time, like, see, it was not urgent.
Yeah. And sometimes, even on that, I don't know if it's linked to friendship, but like what I've learned is like, sometimes, even if you present it as a crisis, there's no value I'm adding. Like, I've actually gotten so comfortable. I think I had a similar situation where I was called about a relative in hospital, and we're like, oh, we need to go here and go there. And then I just was like, what value will I be adding? I'm not a doctor. I'm not, like, I was just like, this is not a crisis I am equipped to handle. And just, I remember being like, yeah, it stops you. I think you feel like you're contributing when you're running around.
With everyone else.
And like, I was just like, no, guys. My expertise and like, there's nothing I'm adding.
There's nothing I'm adding.
Yeah.
How do you know when somebody is emotionally, I did a video on this once, emotionally dumping versus healthy venting. Because I think sometimes friendships go through that where every time you're meeting somebody, they're saying, Aki, and then this thing, and then this guy, 3 years later, and then this thing. So I had to find ways. First, I had to check myself. I'm like, are you always going with the same narrative?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're addicted to the chaos you're in.
Yeah.
Or are you at least going with an update? So I remember people were like, I have a friend or family like that. I said maybe sometimes it's to eventually say, you've said this for so long. Do you feel like it's time to do something about it? So there's always that.
I think it's that part because it's like a pattern, right?
The pattern, yeah.
Like it's okay to vent. I vent to my friends about like even things I don't like. I was on a morning walk and I was venting to my friend who's not in this industry about like an agency that was like driving me mad. And I was just like, and then now, because she's not in the industry, I have to stop for like explainers. Okay, you may not understand this, but like this is what's meant to happen. Like this is what this means. Okay, this is media bike. This is
then you're like anyway. Then you go back.
That context. No. But it was a one-off.
Yeah.
It was a situation I was in, and I was even when I'm venting, I'm saying, and I'm going to do A, B, C, D about it. This is how I'm going to. But if it's like, over, like especially like when maybe it's like relationships. At a point, even you, like, I would be like venting about things that maybe my partner does that's like irritating or whatever.
Yeah.
And at a point, I had to be like, but see, you have chosen it.
Yeah. Oh, you were saying even to for yourself.
Yeah, I'm like, sister, you have chosen it. Why must you go venting about it? Like, you are comfortable in it. If it was not comfortable, you would have said, hey, man, I can't. So why just keep on? Because on like when you check in with yourself, like for me, I was like, then it becomes the thing I'm venting about becomes my identity, and it becomes the lens to which I see things. So then I'm an angry, bitter person at everything because I'm just harping on about this one thing that's a small part of my life. So even just checking yourself to be like, am I just having a moment where it's a one time this thing has happened and I want to let it out? Am I looking for advice? Am I sharing this is the solutions? Or am I just constantly
in like this pattern and cycle?
The pattern is always the thing.
Because I think that also plays into friendships. I think a lot of friendships get strained, or it reaches that point where you have to. Somebody will just be like, I
can't take
they've
it.
called me again. Let me. But I think it's worth saying, hey, I want to point something out. You keep doing this. And depending on how they receive it.
Yeah.
Because I think a friendship should be healthy enough to say, I'm worried about you. This seems like a pattern. Are you doing anything? And then depending on what they say, some people feel like if it's several years down the line, they do feel like they've outgrown because they're working on moving out of their patterns and somebody's stuck on theirs. That I think is a...
is a big one. And even just behaviors.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man. And it's not about age, right? I think in terms of like, it's not, I'm too old to be doing A, B, C, D. I think age expands you, so you want more. Like you've exhausted certain activities, you're like, I want more. Or I want to experience these other things. And this doesn't excite me as much, right? And, or you want to, for example, I used to love going out, right? I used to like concerts. But then concerts in this country are tricky.
Yeah.
And like the older I get, there are things that are just not a good experience to me. Like me, I'm just, what do you mean there's nowhere for us to sit in if it's raining? Like, what do you mean there's a stampede at the gate?
Yeah.
What do you mean ticketing is not organized?
Yeah.
What do you mean there's no parking?
Yeah.
You know, like, these are things that a couple of years ago, I just added to the good time, the chaos. I'm just like, yeah, like, it's wild. It's a good story for the next day.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, no. And you know,
No, thank you.
No, thank. Sometimes, if that's so important for friend A, which it's valid for them to love that, like that's where they feel like they bond with their friendship. Those are the activities they like. And me, then I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, who's
organizing the sponsors
Can
and
I
the
trust
organizers?
them? Okay, do they have a lot to lose if something is not organized?
If they do, maybe I'll consider.
Who's the artist? Is this artist trustworthy? Are they going to come?
And if they come, will they come at 4 a.m.?
Yeah. Where's the venue?
Yeah.
What's the parking situation?
Oh, wow.
You know, like there's just so much I'm going through that I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not. And now that's important for me. You can like go your different ways. And I think it can even be activities, things that you derive joy from can be so different that it's like we actually don't have the spaces to meet and to like check up on each other, right? Because the things you want to do, I don't want to do.
Yeah, and that's okay.
It's fine, man.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Man, I think by the time you get to your 50s, you'll be so, because this is what people are figuring out now. So I think it's incredible. I'm seeing a lot more people, especially women, beginning to hear themselves more. To be like, you know, I'm listening to myself more. Yeah. And I know that either person A or situation B or whatever it is doesn't make sense for me. And so I'm going to remove myself.
Yeah.
And I think our boundaries are what is causing a lot of
boundary work.
Boundary work and upheaval, and people being like, how dare you? I'm like, oh, how dare I have a boundary?
Now, tell me, where do we go to from here?
I've dared.
I've dared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, that's good.